Through vibration and meditation, residents of the border city are tapping into their mind and bodies by taking part in a sound bath at Heart and Soul Essentials. Tara Penny, a spiritual life coach, has been practicing sound baths for 7 years now and is excited to bring sessions to the public every Thursday and Sunday.
A sound bath is a 45-minute meditation. You come in, you bring your yoga mats, your pillow, blanket, and you lie down, and I play crystal, Tibetan, and alchemy singing bowls and chimes. It helps raise your vibrational frequency and release any stress and any ailments, disease that you may be carrying in the body.
After your session, you can also shop at the store and browse the shelves of crystals, chimes, and sound bowls, among much more.
Lots of vendors come in that are local, and they make their crystal jewelry, they make pottery, they do all sorts of things.
Residents can drop into the sound bath sessions every Thursday and Sunday at 7:15, or they can sign up at the Heart and Soul website at heartandsoulessentials.net. Well, after having a little R&R over the Christmas break, the Lakeland Wrestlers Women's Volleyball Club are back in practice for the second half of their season. The Wrestlers are getting set to face the Ambrose Lions down in Calgary on Friday. Both teams currently sit atop their respective divisions, with the Lions having a slightly better record at 11-1.
There's a few girls on that team that I recognize from as long as I've been here, so they also have that age on their team. So veteran versus veteran team is always going to end up being a good game. So.
In addition, the Wrestlers will play the Lethbridge Kodiaks on Saturday. Start time for both matches will be at 6 p.m. Now it's time for us to check in once again with Shelby Clark, who has another look at weather.
Thanks so much again there, Mr. Jace Mackey. Yes, now taking another extended look at your weather forecast. We'll be starting off with our central zone of the provinces. On the Alberta side, we are continuing that single-digit warm streak as we go on through the week, which I think we're all pretty happy to see. Cold Lake is still looking the coolest with that -10 over on this side. Start to warm up from there as we are looking at some -9s with Athabasca and Red Deer. -6 there in Edmonton while we start to definitely warm up. -5, -3 Edson and Whitecourt, and even over in Jasper at that 1 degree mark. In Rocky Mountain House is kind of right in the middle there at -7. But yeah, we are seeing some nice warm temperatures on our Alberta side for sure. And compared to the Saskatchewan side, as we switch over here for our central zone, most spots are seeing those double digits kind of continue on, but they are still, you know, early teens. -12 for North Battleford, while it is -11 for Saskatoon. Melfort and Meadow Lake match with us here in the border city with that -10, and Prince Albert is seeing that single digit with -9. Going over to our northern zone here, they are looking slightly warmer compared to what they have been seeing to other days this week earlier on. Some spots are seeing those double digits kind of continue, but the rest are seeing those single digits now, especially for Uranium City and Stony Rapids now at -7, -8. Seeing that -9 for La Loche and Buffalo Narrows. The rest are around -10, -11. Going back to our Alberta side here for our northern zone, they are kind of matching with us in our central area with these conditions. -7 for both Grand Prairie and Slave Lake. Looking at -9 for Peace River, and the rest are seeing that -10. So it seems like -10 is definitely a common condition that most spots are sitting at the moment. Going over to our southern zone now, they are definitely still seeing that the warmest conditions compared to everywhere that we have looked continue on. They're beating us once again for today. Lethbridge especially at 4 degrees. 0 mark in Calgary, while there's -1 for Banff, and over in Medicine Hat, Coronation is definitely dropped pretty low compared to the rest with -11 as they are seeing those double digits. And going back over to our Saskatchewan side, in our southern zone, definitely seeing a drastic change in temperatures, especially with Estevan and Swift Current at just -3, -4, and the rest have dropped low to those double digits. -10 for Moose Jaw, while the rest are just around -11 and -12. But now as we look at some overnight temperatures in surrounding areas, as we take a look at what we can expect for tonight, we are going to continue on with those teens, those minus and those teens. Looking at a low of minus 14 for most spots. Paradise Hill, Provost, and Meadow Lake expected. Isla Cross will be looking at a low of minus 13, and Bonnyville will be expecting a low of minus 16. So most spots aren't going to be touching that minus 20 just quite yet. And with that wind chill, they probably won't even be touching it even with the wind chill. So it'll be a pretty calm night tonight, and I would say, you know, vehicles aren't needed to be plugged in for tonight either. You could probably stay out a little bit longer if you got any plans, but we are seeing some beautiful evening lows as we go on through the week. And now looking at our hourly forecast for here in the border city for tomorrow, what we can expect, we'll look a little bit more into it. Starting off in the morning, slightly cooler at that minus 10 as we go on through the morning to minus 9. And we will kind of continue with those single digit temperatures as we go on through the day into mid-afternoon to 4 p.m. We will be looking at around minus 6, minus 7, and we will be kind of staying at that minus 7 mark throughout the evening as well into 10 p.m. So definitely looking at a beautiful day for tomorrow, so make sure to take advantage and just enjoy your day, because we all know what January and February can bring for us. And now ending off with taking a look at your 3-day forecast here. As I was saying, we will be seeing that single digit with a minus 6 to minus 7 for tomorrow. Won't be expecting too much sun peeking behind those clouds. Hopefully we will kind of see that through today to help warm things up. That will continue into Thursday with that minus 7 and a low of minus 10. Hopefully we will be seeing that switch up with a mixture of some sun and cloud on Thursday. And as we hit Friday, heading into our weekend, we will be cooling down slightly just at minus 10 for our daytime high. Although, you know, beautiful conditions, I think we will be seeing a beautiful weekend here in the border city. That's all I have for now. Our Jace Mackey will have more news coming up after the break.
At Border Paws Animal Shelter for another edition of Pet Project, and today we have a beautiful looking cat named Salmon. Quite a big girl, but she is sweet and very beautiful in her coloring, but she has to be in a specific environment. So tell me a little bit about Salmon, how she came to be at the Border Paws, and a little bit about what home would be the perfect fit for her.
So yeah, Salmon's about 2.5 years, calico, a female. She, well, obviously female, but she came to us probably over a year ago. She was actually my first foster. And yeah, so I had her in a room with no other animals, and I thought, okay, she'll do really good. Turns out Salmon does not like other animals, especially dogs. She's not a fan of dogs. Other cats she does not like either, as well as we've discovered that she does not like children. So I think Salmon would do best in a home with, you know, a young couple, older couple. Older kids would be fine, you know, teenagers I think would be okay, but definitely no littles. She has been adopted twice, and she got returned twice now. So we are trying our hardest to find her the perfect fit, but I mean, she is a loving cat. She just likes it on her own terms, right?
Yes.
So, I mean, if somebody's just looking for a single cat, she's your gal. She'll give you a lot of love. I mean, again, on her own terms, but she can be a little spicy sometimes, but she's just very specific in what she likes.
Yes, and so far she's been incredibly sweet throughout this. She's only just moving right now, which I think is always the case when we showcase a cat, but she's very vocal. I think, like you said, single household, an older couple, a younger couple, I think would be a perfect fit for her. And of course, like any cat, they like to do things on their own terms.
Yeah, exactly.
So I think she's just like a normal cat,
right?
But with
Calicos can be a little sassy too. It's kind of, you can probably let her down that way. Alrighty, thanks, Salmon.
You're done. But she is absolutely beautiful in her coloring and her coat, and I think she would make a perfect companion for a very specific type of household.
Absolutely.
Now, we've mentioned that you have a new event coordinator. Don't have specific dates or events lined up, but you do have a monthly giving program. Tell me a little bit about that and how people can get involved and what all is involved with it.
So yeah, our monthly giving, it comes out of your account. You can set it up for whatever amount you want. You can set it up for whatever you want, whether it's to go towards medical bills, go towards spay and neutering, food for the shelter, just operations at the shelter. You can actually decide. So you just go right on our website and there's a spot to sign up. And I mean, even if you want to give $1 a month, right? So it will just kind of sign you up until you say stop, basically. And so yeah, you can donate $1, you can donate $2, and then we're also going to start making it a little more personable. So you'll actually get like a newsletter each month with updates on adoptions, the animals that your money has helped, that kind of thing. So if anybody's interested, it's a great way, you know, it comes out of your account each month. And like I said, you can do $1, you can do $5, $10, whatever works for you. And I mean, every dollar helps. So.
Yes, of course. And that's a fantastic way for people to, you know, donate and get involved if they would like to, but sometimes it may slip their minds or, you know, they don't really think about it. So having it come out monthly, they know that each month they are giving something to the shelter in a very specific way. Like you said, they can choose where that money goes, which
Absolutely.
I think is an added bonus instead of just donating and you don't know where the money is going. Now, like I just mentioned a couple minutes ago, you don't have any events set up or planned just yet, but if there's any businesses that would like to get ahead, get involved, or host an event for you guys, tell me a little bit about that and how they can get involved.
Yeah, so we like to do adoption events. I mean, for some reason, when we do them at a different location, they seem to do really well. We did one with PetSmart back in the fall, and it was amazing. Every animal I brought got adopted. So yeah, if any businesses, you know, I know like Boundary Ford's done it in the past, you know, a lot of the car dealerships, anything, like if you have a restaurant, anything like that, and you or a bar, and you'd like to set up an adoption event, you know, we just basically, it brings business in for you guys, as well as helps get the animals adopted. So if anybody is interested in hosting an adoption event, please reach out to us. You can email events@borderpaws.ca, and we can definitely set something up, because yeah, I know a lot of people like to have animals at their business for the day,
Yes.
right? Boost morale for that day.
Absolutely. I've been to a couple of yours when you were at HomeSense. That's kind of the plan that you guys have going on this year about going back to those locations you at HomeSense, and then I think Winners as well, which is fantastic because who doesn't love shopping and seeing animals?
Exactly.
And of course, like you said, it boosts morale for the employees because I know if I was working at one of those stores and there was a whole crate of puppies or kittens, oh, I'd be distracted for sure. And I think it is amazing. You know, people don't always think about those pets, so they go into a random store and then they see, and then they're thinking, okay, well, maybe we should get one.
Right, absolutely. It's just a different environment too, right? And it's actually really good for the animals to get out of the shelter for the day as well.
Yes,
so.
new environment, get them used to kind of being out in the
Exactly.
real world, opposed to just being in the shelter, and which is amazing. And I love that you guys are able to do those kind of events because it's different than just hosting, you know, some events here and there. You're going to actual businesses and promoting their business, as well as getting homes or finding homes for these animals. Now, I ask this every week, but it's important. Any specific donations or things that you're looking for?
So we're doing pretty good right now with everything. I mean, we can always use cleaning products too, like if anybody has Lysol or bleach, we can always use that stuff. Again, if you're really not sure what to get, head to Amazon, and our wish list is on there, and they've got a list of all the different things that we need.
Which is awesome. I think that Amazon wish list it's genius.
Oh,
because
it's going really good too. Every week we get quite a bit. So thank you to everyone who's been using it. We really, really appreciate it.
Yes, and it's an easy way. You don't have to leave the house. You can just click on a couple of things and get it. Now, understand that you're full to capacity. If anybody has an idea of wanting to foster to help you guys out, how can they do so? What's that kind of process like?
Okay, yeah, no, that's a good one. Yes, we can always use fosters, because I mean, the more fosters we have, the more we can intake. We have a wonderful foster coordinator, so actually you can just head to our website, and then there's an application to fill out. It will go to our foster coordinator, and then she'll contact you, and we can definitely set that up. And we have all kind of fostering, like long-term, short-term. I mean, some of them are just while they're waiting to get their second vaccine. So I mean, some of them can only be for a week if you want. So it's kind of a good way too if you can't really have animals or you don't want to commit. It's a good way to just kind of have an animal for a short term, and then you get to give it back. So yeah, if anybody would like to, we also actually have a Facebook page. It's called Border Paws Fosters. You can go ahead and join that as well, where our foster coordinator, she actually posts the animals that are needing fosters. So if you're kind of interested, go sign up for that, and yeah, you can see what we're needing for fosters.
Awesome. Well, Salmon is on an adventure, but hopefully someone sees this and would like to adopt her. I think she'd make a perfect addition to any family, of course, with those requirements, the single household or older children. So
absolutely.
Thank you so much, and
Thank you.
Good luck, Salmon.
Pet Project is sponsored by the Pet Pad. For total pet care, think Pet Pad.
Furniture set and design supplied by Furniture Gallery and Furniture House, downtown Lloydminster.
Joining us today for Primetime Local News is author Edward Willett, who has just released a new novel from DAW, The Tangled Stars. Thank you so much for taking the time to speak with us today, Edward.
Thank you for having me on.
Glad to be able to have you on here because we can kind of help get the word out on this new novel. And, starting off with the easiest question, what exactly is this novel about, so we can just kind of get the backstory on it?
The Tangled Stars is a far future science fiction adventure. It's a bit of a heist novel, and it features, among other things, a talking AI uplifted cat who becomes a starship captain. So it's also humorous. You might gather that from that description. I suppose a little more of the plot. Set in the far future, interstellar travel has collapsed, and this kind of con man is my main character, Cooper Douglas, sees an opportunity for this is reopening, and that he can take advantage of that, but he has to steal a starship that's back on Earth and stay one step ahead of the bad guy that's chasing him, the kind of organized crime figure that's after him. So that's kind of the basic setup. And then, as I said, it's basically a heist novel where they have to steal this starship with the help of an old lover who's now a cop on the moon, and get out of the solar system.
Well, it definitely sounds interesting. I know the cat lovers here in the Border City are going to really like this one. It sounds like a really good plot. Now, what inspired you to write this?
That's an interesting question. I wanted to write an outer space science fiction novel because my last few things had been a bit different than that. And I suspect I was somewhat influenced by watching The Expanse and that kind of outer system kind of thing. And I love cats, and I'd always wanted to have a cat character, and this seemed like an opportunity to do that because I could see a way to have a talking cat, because he basically has an artificial intelligence living inside his brain that makes him this not just an ordinary cat, but he's still very much a cat. So those were kind of the elements. I wanted to write something humorous because I just wanted to write something humorous, and so those elements came together, and I boiled them up in my brain and came up with this plot.
Would you say that compared to your previous work, this is kind of a different idea that you've written for this new novel? It's kind of definitely out of your field, you'd say?
I've never written anything quite like this. There are elements of it. My last 3 books, the World Shaper series, all had a first-person narrator mixed with some third-person viewpoints from other characters, and also had a lot of my humor in it. So in a way, this was kind of a continuation of that kind of writing. But set in a completely different kind of a setting. That was more of a portal fantasy, going to different, more like fantastical worlds. And this one is very much straight up outer space, old-fashioned science fiction adventure.
Well, it sounds like it is hilarious. And have you been seeing that good support and good response so far since the release?
People seem to really like the cat, which is what I was hoping for. Cat lovers do like it. Every chapter starts with a little bit of cat wisdom from his personal log, and I actually put all those out one at a time on my Twitter feed and other social media out, and people really seem to enjoy that. I've had really good support from DAW in that regard, and they were retweeting a lot of that. So, yeah, I've been pleased. The reviews that I've seen have been good. It's a little different for me because it's only out in ebook and audiobook. It's not out in print, which is kind of a new thing in the publishing world, but it's there, and I hope people will look for it and enjoy it when they find it.
Well, it doesn't surprise me that you are seeing that good response so far, especially like I was saying with having those cat lovers out there, and you got a very interesting plot involved with it as well. Would you say that you might continue this into a series now that you've seen that response?
It's very much intended to start a series, and I have sent a proposal for the second book to DAW, so we'll wait and see. It'll be up to them whether they want to continue the series or not. The book does stand alone, but it's very open-ended at the end, and you can tell that there are more adventures to be had. I don't know that I'd bring in any other animals. The premise for why this cat is the way he is, he's kind of a one-off, not to mention a highly illegal construction. And that ties into the second book and the whole overarching story, which involves artificial intelligence and humans and how we will interact with the AI in the future. But yeah, I definitely hope that I will be writing more books in this series.
Perfect, Edward. Well, it was really nice chatting with you today. And for everyone watching, make sure to go check out his new novel. And once again, thank you so much for joining us today, Edward.
Thank you.
Taking a final look at your 7-day forecast for here in the border city. So get ready. We're seeing those single digits with -6 tomorrow, -7 Thursday. We won't be seeing too much sun peeking behind those clouds, so slightly gloomier days, but warmer days. So I think we all appreciate it. -10 Friday to start off the weekend, so slightly cooler, but then the weekend is those single digits one more time, -6 and -8. Make sure to take advantage because we are getting some beautiful conditions before we see some of those extreme cold warnings. And as we head into next week, we will be cooling down on Monday with -11, but don't worry, we'll be seeing that single digit again next Tuesday with -9.
Thanks for that great news, Shelby, and thank you all for joining us for Primetime Local News. Have a good night and see you again tomorrow.